Hello guys, welcome back. This is Adhay. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so excited for today's video because I will be trying the new NARS foundation. Yes, if you know me personally or you have been watching my videos for quite some time now, you know how much of a NARS fan I am. I am all about NARS. I am faithful to NARS, not because I want to be faithful to NARS, but because how good their products are. I have been using NARS for several years now, and it never disappoints. I'm going to give you my first impressions, my thoughts, my opinions, whether I recommend it or not. You guys will get all of that in this video. So if you want to see all of that, then I suggest you to keep on watching. But before that, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you press that notification bell in order to get notified every single time I upload a new video. You guys, it's so hot. We are in almost October and it's still super hot. It feels like forever since I sat on this chair. There is a lot going on in my life right now. There are a lot of renovations, so honestly I haven't had time to just sit and do makeup and talk to you guys and all of that good stuff and relaxing stuff for me. Even though I wasn't gone for too long, it feels good to sit and do makeup. This new NARS foundation has been out for about 3 weeks, if not a month. I'm not sure exactly when it came out, but it's fairly new. I did get 2 shades because I usually mix these two together when I'm in between summer and winter. I got these shades Barcelona and Valencia. Let's talk about packaging first. Okay, I had already seen the packaging from social media. The first time that I seen the packaging, I wasn't much of a fan. And looking at it right now, I'm still not digging the packaging. The reason being is because NARS always gives us that glass aesthetic. And let me open it. Let me see how this goes. Okay, so it's a squeeze type of situation. You can see it. So these are the 2 shades that I got. Let me tell you guys how much these were. So these foundations are $40 each, of course, plus tax and all of that. It's definitely cheaper than these other ones, the other foundations from NARS. It is a soft matte, and I'm very excited about that because your girl is oily AF. The foundation is a 16-hour oxidation resistant foundation that balances oil while maintaining a hydrated skin-like finish, protects from pollution and blue light. Okay. And the coverage that they claim is full coverage. Let me first prime my face, and I'm going to prime with my favorite primer, which is Tatcha. All right. There you go. I want to see the full capacity of this foundation, so I am not going to color correct underneath here just to see if it covers that problematic area of mine. I want to show you guys the consistency difference between all the 3 foundations that I carry from NARS. Let's get a reaction of this consistency. Okay, so it is liquidy. I'm going to show you guys the consistency of the other foundation, of this foundation, just so you guys could get you see how it's more thick. The consistency of this foundation. So this is the consistency. As you could see, this one, the new one, is more runny. This one's the thickest, and this one's in between. All right, let me swatch this foundation. Let's see that. Barcelona. Do you guys see? This one is slightly darker than the rest of my body. A tiny bit. And then you have this one, which I feel it's a full shade lighter than the rest of my body. I'm going to mix those 2 together. I'm going to blend it how I usually blend it for the most part, which is with my beauty blender. I'm soaking it in. Give me a second before I just jump into conclusions without really seeing it. Okay. Okay. It wasn't playing when it said it's matte, because it is matte for sure. And also, I would say that the coverage with a sponge, with a beauty blender, is about a medium and full. So in between, based on my little imperfection that I had here, my little blemish, it is in between the medium and full. I'm impressed. Okay. Okay. It looks amazing. In person, wow. Wow. Good. 10 times better than this one and this one. For someone that's oily. Let me blend it with a foundation brush. My camera just stopped recording, so I don't know if it catch me blending it with my foundation brush. Hopefully it did. It looks so good. If only you guys can see it in person. Wow. I'm really getting up close and personal, because you guys know how some foundations look beautiful from a distance, but once you get super close, you see it start separating or all of that. But this one, man, does it look beautiful. Whew. Have in mind, I am oily. Let me continue. Let me see if you add more product on this little blemish, will it help it or just take off? Okay. It built up. For my forehead area, since it's a little bit darker than the rest of my face, I'm going to use Valencia on its own. For this portion of my face, I use 1 drop of Barcelona and 1 drop of Valencia. For my forehead, I did a little drop of Valencia on its own. Usually I only do 2 pumps of my regular foundations, or 1 depending on the finish that I'm going for. But since we were mixing and doing all of that, I did use that amount for now. I'm giving this a rough cleanup on the top of my eyebrows. Not too crispy. Just something that looks cohesive with everything. I am done applying the foundation. I have not set it at all. This is what it looks like without being set. I did go ahead and clean my lips, but man, this foundation looks so good. Let me go ahead and apply my concealer. I'm going to use the Soft Matte Concealer, and this one is in the shade Ginger. I'm going to add a little bit of custard into my mix. Just want it for my problematic area, which is the inner corner. I blend it with my beauty blender. I'm back, and as you guys can see on my face, I applied a little bit of a cream bronzer from the Lancome foundation. I want to see if it blends well together, and applied it on the areas where I want a little bit more warmth. It's blending really good. See right here. It did blend very nicely with my Lancome foundation. To set it, I'm going to use my La Mercier. Grab my beauty blender, add some powder to it, and press. And I feel that for the rest of my face, I'm going to lightly set, because it is a matte finish foundation, and so far it has proven it is a matte foundation. I don't want to over cake my face. Fluffy brush. I'm only lightly going to, let me just set mine. I sweat a lot from my upper lip, so I have to make sure that I really set that area. Okay, now with my brush. Very lightly. I feel that if you are combination or dry skin, you wouldn't need to set it. If you decide to try it out, you wouldn't need to, because it is a matte finishing foundation. Now I'm gonna go and put my bronzer, the whole thing, and I'll be right back. So this is the end result. It looks amazing. If only you guys could see it in person, you guys would be stoked. Not only does it look amazing, but something that I feel is super important for me to mention in this video is that this foundation did not move whatsoever when I applied my powders, my bronzer, my blush, my highlight. It did not move at all. Usually with some foundations, what ends up happening is it moves a little bit, in the sense of probably it takes off, or it just moves out of that area that you constantly keep touching with your brush. It happens all the time. But with this foundation, it did not move at all. I was so impressed. Also, like I mentioned, it is super hot right now and I sweat a lot from my upper lip. What I usually do to absorb that sweat is I go with my beauty blender without any product, and I go on top of it and collect that sweat. I know it sounds gross, but yes, I absorbed my sweat with the beauty blender and it has not moved at all. Another thing is that, I don't know if you guys remember, at the beginning of the video I had a little blemish on this area because I picked on my face. You guys shouldn't pick on your face. I did apply a second layer on that area to see if it covered up, and it did cover up pretty well. I'm gonna go up close so you guys can get a better look of how the foundation looks. I forgot to mention that it is mask proof, something that is important to know nowadays. I am honestly blown away how this foundation suits my skin, how it feels. It feels good. It doesn't feel like I have a mask on. I went to my restroom to check it out in my mirror, how it looks real life, not only behind a lens but in real life. It looks flawless. It looks so good. Not only do you want to look good in front of a camera, but also on a regular basis. If you're going to work, if you're going to an event, if you're getting married, I don't know, but you want it to look good at all times for the most part. I highly recommend this foundation for my oily skin gals. You guys are gonna love it. If you struggle with controlling your oils throughout the day or controlling your oils in general, this foundation is matte. This foundation will not move so far. 110% oil skin approved. Love this foundation. Love it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a thumbs up. It is greatly appreciated. Not only that, but if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you press that notification bell in order to get notified every single time I upload a new video. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye. Hasta luego.